Are we on?
Yep.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Well, welcome to the fifth episode. Fourth episode. What are we on? Fourth episode of the lockdown with Big Fiddy. Mate, thanks for coming on today, bro. It's short notice. I think I talked to you last weekend because I got the bug on Friday or Saturday, and by Monday I started filming stuff. By Sunday I started filming stuff. Mate, how you been, buddy? Been good?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Trying to keep myself busy, man, during these hard times.
Yeah. You're not working at the moment?
Hey?
You're not working at the moment?
All I'm doing, I do a few things. I teach with combat sports and boxing, MMA, and
yeah.
I got involved in footy, doing a bit of the wrestle for the footy, and provide supports for children at risk, so young people that been through.
We'll go into that in a bit of detail later on. Because I was going to ask you a few questions about that youth work that you're doing.
Yeah,
mate. What have you been doing at home? Just training, as we talked before. You'll be training a fair bit.
Yeah, now the gyms are closed and people are wanting to train, wanting to find who's got some weights in the garage, who's got this, who's got that. Because otherwise there's a lot of people that will go crazy. So I've gone back to those body weight workouts, man, and trying to get it out there that you don't need weights to get a sweat up and get yourself in shape. I used to do a fair bit of it when I was getting ready for fights, do circuits on my own and kind of having that battle against yourself. It's always a hard thing to get through.
Bro, have you been doing a lot of
live workouts?
Have you been doing a lot of neck bridges? Because your head's gotten massive. You look like your brother.
My neck's got scrawny and skinny.
Fuck, you don't want to look like your brother. Jesus Christ. Hey, so you're obviously you're from New Zealand. You're born and bred there. You came to Sydney or Australia when you were about 16. 16, 15. How old were you?
Yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah. How was it? Can you hear the baby? Shut up, baby. Go away. It's the kid. The baby. So you come here when you're like 16, 17, from New Zealand. Where'd you grow up in New Zealand, and how did you find that that move from NZ to here to Penrith? Yeah, direct to Penrith.
Yeah.
How'd you find that?
Coming straight to Penrith, my dad's brother had been there for so many years. So we left New Zealand with dad. Dad was looking for more work and more opportunities, and found opportunities in Sydney. And dad's brother was living in Penrith, so we went out there and bunked up with him for about a month until mum and dad sorted their stuff out and got a house, and we all got jobs, and been here since.
How did you find that mix of life going from New Zealand to Australia? I know it's a bit. My wife's a Kiwi, obviously, so I understand there's a little bit of a culture difference, even that the language is the same and sports and life is. But how did you find that culture shock?
Real different, man. I was 16, 17 years old, but I guess if I came here by myself with not knowing anyone, I would have noticed it then. But I was with my family, man. My mum, my dad, my older brother. And so I guess when I was adapting to the ways of people or the locals around here, it's quite easy, I guess, because I had my brother next to me. It was always right next to his side, and had that support, and just made friends along the way, and transition for me was pretty easy. Or was pretty easy because of my family and my support.
Well, you got to Penrith, and obviously you got a big surrounding of New Zealanders around you as well, because I know a fair few of them, and that's how we met. But that probably would have made it easier, right? But you got a rat bag of a brother, an older brother. How much trouble did he get you into when you were kids? Any good stories or what?
He got into a fair bit of trouble.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I'm bringing it up. Can you say it?
He got into a fair bit of trouble, but I was a good boy, so we're both scared of our old man,
Yeah, all of us were.
The usual case, scared of your old man, finding out what we've been up to. So I think Tama kind of, if he got into trouble, he was always quick on his feet. He could quickly, gain distance from him. But I wasn't, man. I wasn't. I was pretty slow, and I've become like a mommy's boy, man. Growing up, I think. So I kept myself pretty quiet and done the right things, and try not to, mess up. Try not to let Dad find out too many things.
Well, that mentality also helped you get to that next level. Like your brother Tama keep speaking about him. He was a good fighter. I remember when I was young, like me and you were the same age. I think Tama's got 2 years on us. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. So he's older than us. I remember as a kid growing up, Tama was a pretty nifty fighter. He was a kickboxer, and I'm right. Yeah, he was a kickboxer. Yeah. And what was he like? South Pacific champion or?
Yeah, like he had a few like a New South Wales state title and Australian title, I think, and he done it like for a few years.
He was a banger. He used to have a crack.
Not really taking things serious, He was a natural athlete. Well,
you lived in his shadow, right? So
yep.
Obviously that's what happens. You grow up with an older brother, and he's a somebody, and on the fight scene he was a somebody. You've kind of followed in his ways. Did you find it difficult trying to get out of his shadow, or and create your own identity, or were you content with just being Tama's little brother?
Nah, man, I was okay because I had like role models to look up to, where Tama, my grandfather, people on TV that I saw like done really well. Mike Tyson when I was growing up through the 80s, of course. David Turr when he boxed in the Olympics and then Barcelona Olympics. I remember that. And when he turned pro, I was just passionate about boxing, passionate about fighting. And all those kind of champs that you see on the media, on TV and stuff, man, I was like, I wanna be there one day. I wanna, be in that guy's shoes and just walk that path, the same path. So I guess that was like one of the main drivers of my success in fighting.
So you've obviously stepped out of his shadow, but then how did you feel when you made your UFC debut, and for about 2 years Tama's photo was come up every time you used to fight? Tell me, your brother got you back. He made the UFC as well. And he had half a rig. He had half a rig on him too. He looked half decent.
I know.
He looks like shit now, but he looked great then.
I know. I thought I was pissed off, but I was thinking, maybe my opponent be seen that and kind of bit of fear in the air, bit of doubt,
Did he mean? You reckon he meant it or what? I heard he meant it. Do you reckon he meant it?
What's that?
Put that photo up. Did he send that photo in or?
Tama or Crystal, one of them.
Yeah, one of them today. So Tama was telling me about your first fight, and his first fight was supposed to be debuts for both of you, but what actually happened?
Our first fight?
Well, his first fight, but it was supposed to be both your first fights.
Yeah. So our first fight, that's the MMA fight, right, up in Queensland?
I know. Both of you were supposed to have a debut, and they reckon it was back before, his fight was before yours, and they watched your brother fight. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, so me and him went up to Queensland because we had to. You can only fight MMA up there. It was legal down in New South Wales, so we went up there and stayed up there the night before, waited and stuff, and next morning I thought, get out of bed early and try and get my feet a little bit light, start the day right and go for like a little jog, loosen up. So I jumped out the door and gone for a little jog, turned into like a probably 40-minute jog. And then came back, sat on the couch, and then waiting for Tama and had to get up and walked in Tama's room. He's not there. So, shit, he must have, done the same thing. So then sat down on the couch, and then not even 5 minutes later, knock on the door, open the door. There's Tama. He's in his clothes from the night before. And he's just rocked up. It would have been like 10 in the morning. He goes, fuck, I better get some sleep.
Like, I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about something else.
Oh, this is one story anyway.
Tama tells me about maybe he's talking himself up here. He said both of you are supposed to make your debuts, right? We both had our first fights back in the day. He goes, he fought before you and knocked the bloke out in the first round. When the blokes had a look at how your brother knocked him out, he just grabbed his shit and took off and you didn't have a fight. Is that correct?
I didn't have a fight.
Yep.
I can't remember that one.
He goes, Jamie's opponent knew we were brothers and watched me fight, saw me win, then packed his gear up and walked out the door.
Yeah,
So Jamie didn't have fighting.
That was one of the fights, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
he was a banger. He was a banger.
Oh, yeah. He was just a guy that was quick and explosive and just like a natural athlete.
Yeah. He had a good round and a half in him.
Yeah.
All right, so, mate, you were one of the first proper Australian UFC stars, if not the first, right? So we had a couple of guys make it through. Obviously, Parash and Sinisic and, I can't forget his names here. But you were the one that probably was the first successful UFC combatant from Australia. How did you find some of those fights? Like, you had a massive win over Ryan Jimmo. Like, that was a fucking, mate, you should have lost that fight. The way you come back in the second and third round was remarkable.
Yeah.
And I think you got fight of the night that night, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you obviously went on and fought the best. And look, it didn't pan out, obviously. And but your first four, your first 6 or 7 fights, you had 6, 7 wins. You only had 1 loss in that first lot, which is great for UFC because they're the best of the best. It's not like boxing. You can't. I love boxing. That's always superior to me. But there is ways of playing the system. Whereas UFC, there's no playing the system. It's you're one of the best. You're one of the best. You're on. That's the way it works. Now, how'd you find, going from CFC and find some good fighters like what's his name?
Price and
Price and that. Like, how'd you go from going there to this, mate, going and fight, Shogun, fucking or. How'd you find that Glover Teixeira? Like, that's a massive leap. How'd you find that? How'd you adapt to it?
Oh, man, I've always been the person right from the start, is to, like, take on someone that's more experienced than me, that holds more of a, more fights under his belt. So I took up and I liked combat sports, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, purely because of the challenge. If I kind of go into a fight where I've been matched up with someone that's less experienced than me, it's
you like the challenge?
Yeah, I like a challenge, man. So I'm like always trying to see myself as being like right here. Now I see myself here. I want this guy up here. I want that,
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to, get myself further and further and further.
Better
I know
yourself.
that, halfway through my career in the UFC, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, yeah, well, you would have been alright if you took his steps slower." UFC are matching them up with throwing him in the deep end. But man, that was my choice. Like, I asked for those fights. Like when I was on a bit of a roll, I was like, "Oh, hey, you know what? Shogun's not fighting. Do you reckon I could maybe match up with him? Fucking fight him, have a go against him?" That's always been me, man. I always wanted to have a go against someone, someone that's a great fighter. That's the way I've always been.
You were on the roll too, so you've beaten like Beltran and you've beaten Jimmo in 2 great fights, and you performed superb. So taking a fight like at that time, Teixeira was number 2 or 3 in the ratings. Was that right?
Yeah.
And to take a fight like that, it's a lot of balls. But we spoke to Garth yesterday, and he spoke about the roll on. And at times, man, like sometimes you think you're unbeatable, and it's a good time for you to take those bigger fights because your confidence is sky high. And look, Teixeira played smart. He didn't bang with you. He just went, "I'll take it to the fucking floor." At that point, if he had banged with you at that point, I reckon it could have been a different outcome because you were on fire. You were physically on fire. You were a big puncher, and you were accumulating some big wins where you were using your power and your striking ability. And like your striking ability went through the fucking roof at one point. So hats off. You want to take that, and that's testament to UFC fighters. It's They don't care about protecting their records. That's a culture that I wish that boxers would adopt. But again, when it comes down to commercial side of things with boxing, it's you have 3 or 4 losses and you're basically no chance of fighting for a world title. Like how did you walk into those Glover and was there any difference when walking into against Glover or Shogun?
Was there
any difference mentally or physically?
More fucking heat, man. I think more heat, like just
more pressure.
Oh no, I was on a bit of a roll, for these wins, and it was just like a fucking like an awesome thing for me. It was just like what do you call it? Just I was in awe of it all, Not really more pressure, but I was like, fucking, this is my chance. This is my shot. He's up there, and I'm this guy down here. I've got a, chance to show it my all, give it my all. So that fight was at the MGM, and for the MGM stadium, I remember at that point too, like had Danny Green. Danny Green helped me out and gave me a lot of awesome advice for that fight too, man. He helped me out so much, man. He pulled me back at the right times, and he was just guiding me along the way. I remember, anyway, Greeny's in my corner, and then I'm on one side, ready to go, the ref's in the middle, Glover's on the other side, and then fucking I'm walking up and down the cage fence, and I look through the fence, like normally I've got tunnel vision. I walk through looking through the cage fence, and there's this dude, and he's standing up in the front row of the seat, and he's clapping, and I look. That's fucking Mike Tyson. And he's looking at me, he's clapping. He's going, yeah, let's go. And I'm going, oh.
So we'll put it down to that then.
Oh, man.
Mike Tyson put you up.
Man. It was just like in the middle of the cage, before the fight started, it felt like it was like a fucking blade, like a fire, man. It felt like it was like a bonfire in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the closer you walk to it, the fucking hotter it got. Yeah, man, that's the feeling I got from it.
Well, you were on fire before that Glover fight, and let's just remind the viewers. After Glover beat you, he tapped you out the first round, but he went on to fight Bones Jones. Yeah, next fight.
Oh no,
is that correct?
Gustafsson, Alexander Gustafsson.
Oh, Gustafsson.
Yeah.
And the winner fought Jones.
Yeah.
If you have a look at his last couple of appearances, against Gustafsson even, but he's had a bit of trouble with strikers, right? Like people that walk forward and strike, he's had some issues with them.
Yeah.
Whereas he used to walk through them a lot easier before. What do you think your chances would have been if you had fought Bones Jones? Like, don't get me wrong, he's a fucking freak. Probably the greatest ever. Yeah. Away from all this out of the ring stuff, he fucks around, but. Yeah. Mate, what a fighter! Like he's a magic man, but he's shown a bit of vulnerability in the last couple of fights, only because these strikers are putting the pressure on, staying on his chest, and they're actually starting to break him down with his legs and taking away his legs. Obviously, take away the base. How do you reckon you would have fared against him? And not to talk yourself up, but how do you reckon your style would have fared against him?
Fuck, man, my style is to be a great fighter, you've got to have I've mentioned it before. To be a great fighter, a successful fighter, you got to have your big sword and your shield. Yeah. All right, to be a successful fighter, your defense and your offense. Me as a fighter, I just had a big sword and no shield.
And a battle axe in the other hand.
So, some fights I'll just go out, blazing, and some fights I get caught and that was it. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes the nail.
Yeah.
Against Jones, man, I don't know. Who knows, man? I wouldn't have backed down and just fucking went out there swinging, man. Swinging with guns blazing. That's just my style. If I got caught, I got caught. I'll get caught. But what I have noticed with Jones is everybody that fights him, or most people that fight him, they're not themselves. They don't fight their normal game plan. They don't. They're not themselves. They kind of sit back and kind of inch back or on the back foot. Jones's range, man, must mess up a lot of people. He's got like an 84-inch range, which is his range. His arm length is
arms and legs are crazy.
Same size as a 7-footer.
Yeah. But you can see that just in the way he walks and the way he moves. He's a lanky motherfucker. But geez, it works for him, doesn't it?
I had a look on Wikipedia about a month ago. Tyson Fury. So he's got long arms, right? He's got a
6'9", yeah.
Yeah, his reach is like 84 inches, I think. 6'9", 84 inches. Long as.
Yeah.
John Jones is 6'4", 84 inches.
Wow.
He's got a long, bro. He must like fuck up everyone with his jab or his distancing.
Yeah.
Because most people that he fights, they don't pull the trigger. They don't, they kind of sit back and, but like recently, as you said, a couple of guys, fuck it, walking forward and just gaining that front foot and putting the pressure on him.
Yeah.
And John Jones ain't used to that.
Well, with long limbs, obviously, cut space and you create more opportunity for the smaller fighter. That's just basic rule 101 of any combat sport. Yeah. But you see even his size, his length, with his elbows are so effective. And it's more than likely because his arms are so fucking long, his elbows are as long as my arm. Yeah. So that's probably why he's so effective. But you're correct. It's those fucking limbs of his. And he's a beautiful fighter. Don't talk yourself down when you're saying, you're basically saying you've got no chance because the styles that he's been struggling against lately are very similar to yours. Mm. That kickboxing style. And you're a little more technical with your hands than the other fighters. So, mate, it would have been interesting. I reckon you were inches away from it, to be honest. Glover played smart.
Mind to get there, eh?
Yeah, but there's other things. You're being pretty successful these days training people, so hopefully you can take someone there and teach them from your mistakes. That's the whole point of being a teacher.
Yeah.
Mate, you growing up in New Zealand, right? So you're a very cultural man. My wife's a Māori as well, and it's a beautiful culture. It's a very strong culture. Mate, I know you've had a reconnection or a little rebirth with your culture, and best way to say it is you've got this massive tamoko basically from your chest all the way down your legs.
Yeah.
He showed me when he got it done. So I remember when you first got it done, you come back from New Zealand and we went to dinner at a steakhouse. I think it was, where did we go? Rockpool. So Rockpool's one of the most craziest places in Australia with restaurants in Australia. Very high class. Me and Jamie were the first ones there. And I said, bro, I saw your tattoo. Looks fucking mad. And so he goes, yeah, bro. He took his shirt off, pulled his pants down the middle of the at dinner. And the girl just walks in, and there I am looking at his fucking undid up body. But some crazy artwork. But what's the? Have you reconnected with your culture? Or is it something you've always done through your youth? And do you reckon that might be a main factor in that warrior, the Māori warrior mentality? Is that what kind of helped you as a fighter?
Yeah, what's first of all, there's tattoo or tamoko in Māori is a big part of our culture. It's it displays its markings of our identity. So it displays tells us and other people who we are, where we come from, and who we represent. So my markings are from the central North Island, Ngāti Tūwhare Toa. That's my tribe, my iwi. And you find that each tribe has like the people have like different traits, hold different traits. Mm-hmm. The person who laid the tamoko, the tattoo on me, he's from up north, so their traits are the creative people.
Yeah,
creative people. He's an artist. Another mate, Stevie, he's a stenciler, concreter, so they design artwork and driveways and stuff.
Yeah.
So they all hold that trait. So my our people in the central North Island, Ngāti Tūwhare Toa.
They got big heads,
which means house of the god of war.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
Tātawanga, yeah.
My ancestors were god of war, like warriors, and very territorial people, and take over the whole country. So it's just pretty much like fighters, just warriors, and that's why my markings are kind of bold and kind of out there, and not many kind of creative, beautiful markings or detailed markings. It's like bang in your face, and every line that I have on me, it represents something. and this is all pretty much like an 800-year-old recording of my ancestors. So these markings are to remind me of who I represent. Yeah,
so, like the All Blacks obviously are famous for it. The haka gives them a spiritual feeling. Did your culture assist you in that when you used to fight? Did you used to obviously talk to your ancestors? Yeah, I'm not sure how spiritual you are because we actually haven't spoken about this before. But I know recently you've become pretty spiritual. Yeah. Were you like this before? Do you think this helped you? And did it get you through some tough fights like that? The Beltran fight, the Jimmo fight. There were some fucking hard fights. Yeah, anyone else would have quit.
To be honest, man, it was I guess I had that, always had that fighting spirit in me, through my blood. But me and Tama's upbringing as well. We went through some tough times and that. We grew up Dad. He experienced some stuff, pretty hard out stuff. And then he got affected by that and grew up and met my mum. And then 2 miracles happened, me and Tama. But
miracles, all right. Especially him. For sure. I don't know how he came out, mate. He had to be a fucking cesarean for sure. The size of his fucking head.
But, we experienced some things and, hard times. And I guess, fighting and stuff like all those hard times through, fighting and
that helped you through.
Times you get beat up and training and that. It was to me, when I get beat up and then the next day I'll turn up, it was like I've felt it before.
Yeah, but I've been there, done that.
But I've been through hard times, been through some quite hard ass shit.
Well, that goes to my next question. So adds on, bro. After your last loss to was it Marquette or Stephen Bose, right?
Yeah.
You retired. It was a pretty sudden retirement. We were all a bit surprised by it, but you had something on your brain on a CT scan, or there was some problem. Now, what was it exactly? And bro, do you think all that accumulated fights, those hard fights, that accumulated training where you constantly get knocked in the head, do you think this attributed to anything of your early retirement?
Oh yeah, that was the main reason. So the last fight, I was on a bit of a spiral downwards. I lost 3 fights in a row, and the manager asked me why they want you to fight this guy, and this guy's a newcomer, and he's an ice hockey player. He's an ice hockey player. He's not really much of a fighter. He's an ice hockey player, but he fights. He's got in the UFC. I said, okay, I guess so. I'm a bit of a downward spiral. So I took the fight and ended up looking ice in me in under a minute, I think. I got taken to hospital. I got scanned up, got my papers back, and then doctor comes in and he tells me with this other doctor, he said, you've got a few things going on inside your brain. It's showing up these white spots or dark spots all over your brain. They represent lesions. Most people get lesions. The older you get, the more they appear. It's little lesions can be. They can affect you, or they may not affect you. No one really knows. The lesions are, for example, like a graze on the knee. That's what lesion on the brain. So I kind of got told then. I was like, oh, fuck. And it was about the time that movie came out with Will Smith.
Concussion,
Concussion.
Great movie, yeah.
Fuck. So,
it's the right decision, what you've made, but it was a hard decision, obviously. But like you said, a graze on the knee, if you keep on grazing the same place, it becomes a lot of scar tissue and it becomes more perceptible being cut. Yeah. How'd you find walking away from the sport, like life after being a UFC star? How'd you find that?
Oh, man, it's a common thing with athletes that finish up on the game, on whatever sport they're in, making that transition. For a few months, down in the dumps and stuff, and they really good support around me, and my mates picking me up, and my brother picking me up, and got myself back to training and pumping weights and building that confidence again. And but I remember after that fight, man, I was bummed out hard and just really, man, I just didn't want to show my face at all. I didn't want to go outside the house. But again, friends, man, they were just like reaching out to me, just you come out for free, bro. Come do this, come do that. And I was like,
Keep me busy.
Yeah, keep a hat on
low
me.
profile, yeah.
Didn't want to be there. I don't know if I was depressed or something. I was sad and bummed out. I don't know what depression feels like.
Probably that,
yeah,
but
it's a common thing. I don't know if I was or not.
Yeah. But you someone's about to attack you from behind, I think. No, the door closed. I thought you were getting robbed. Yeah, like it could have been depression, bro, in the day, and we've all been through it. Dark days, unexplainable days, and normally are depressive states. You're the third fighter I've had on this now, and all three of you have basically taken a big knock to the head and a knockout for you to realise that maybe my day's up.
Yeah,
it's a pity. Sometimes people still keep going. Very rare that they retire on top or early. Greenie was lucky enough to get out early in a sense because got over chalk and just said, "No, I'm fucking done. That's it." But still, you should be very proud of the career you've had. Like I said, it's you're basically a pioneer in Australian martial arts because you made it on the scene before anyone else made it. Yeah, all right, we got obviously Volkanovski, we got Rob Whittaker, and Tyson's going well. Ty's going well. We got a good 5-10 boys that are fucking well rated now or world class, and you were the first. So you should be very proud of what you achieved. Now I've got a mystery caller, as we seem to do all the time these days. Someone that's very close to you. We spoke about him before. He's a very arty bloke. He's from a... Hello.
Who is it?
Hello. Is it ringing?
Who is it? I wonder who.
He's a creative man.
Oh,
hello, big fella.
Kia ora.
Stevie Ashby.
How are you?
Mate, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Yourself?
Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about...
Were you in the garage?
Yeah. I've been doing my live workouts here, bro. This has become my commonplace now. Trying to get this place familiar with the audience. Hey?
It looks a bit flash now.
Yeah, he put in the right direction, so it looks fucking half decent. Hey, Jamie tells me you're a very creative man, Stevie.
Creative,
because that's your iwi. It's very creative people, apparently.
That's right. Up north, creative people.
Pui, brother. Of course.
So, Stevie, you were his striking coach basically the whole time, or most of the time. I can't remember you not being there.
No. I was a striking coach, and then me and his brother Tama Te Huna, we kind of switched and changed, and when Tama couldn't make it, I would be there and stuff like that. And then after about I think it was Jamie was 3 or 4 fights in, we got we got Lincoln in. That's right.
Yeah, I remember we got Lincoln in. Yeah.
And then we got Mark Kinney in.
Yeah.
We got a few guys in. We're just trying to, because we're new to the UFC. Jamie was in there one of the first guys in there.
Yeah.
So, and we were doing good in there. Jamie's first couple of fights, he won and stuff, and then we just thought we'll try and make it better. We'll get some bigger stars and better trainers in, but sometimes that's not the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're correct. You had a rhythm going. It's funny that normally when you have a good rhythm going, you kind of don't change. You keep everything as is. So it's surprising that you brought other coaches in once you guys were doing so well anyway.
Yeah, well,
He's too humble. He's too humble.
Oh, you didn't like the pressure, Stevie?
Yeah, Stevie started training years ago. So he was helping me for my very first MMA fight, and then we were just trying to figure out stuff that worked and add some knees, add some elbows, add some takedowns to the stuff. We were being the creative man that he is. We were creating stuff,
It's called fresh stuff.
Just, it went on from there.
So Stevie, basically working with him his whole UFC career, mate. any stories? Like I heard something about. I was over there to watch him fight Marquette.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, I went over to watch it, and look, it was surprising that he didn't get up. And again, we all know that there's a downward spiral with fighters. He now, I'm sure Jamie understands that.
Yeah.
He might have got Marquette, at the wrong time of his career. I'm sure if it was 12 months earlier, he would have fucking killed him. But was there anything that happened that fight? Because I only found out from it today. I didn't know about this. You want to explain what happened?
Oh, there was on that camp. There was a few things. It was I thought Jamie would beat Nate Marquardt on that time, but it was his first time down to, was it 83 or 84 middleweight?
Yeah, middleweight. Yeah.
So that was his first cut. So he's angry on the 93 cut. So you imagine another two. He kind of wanted to eat us, and we're like
pretty much like a little bit, acting like a little bit.
Yeah, so we're all staying in the same house. So like 6 of us.
Yeah.
And, someone gave me a call. I said, bro, you better get your ass over here, bro. Ease the tension and stuff. But yeah, it was his first weight cut down to middleweight. And then and everything was going good. Like we had Rob Whittaker over for for a little bit, but Rob had to go home. We had a good setup. It was good. We had some good trainers there. I think a lot was the weight cut. Mentally, to me, Jamie was angry. He was angry, so a lot of that focus was on his weight cut. You know what I mean?
He's so big. He's fucking walks around 100. What are you? 104 now? 103? What are you?
As you said, my head's so big, so it throws a.
Yes.
No,
you have to walk around bobblehead.
That's a big
I'm
deal.
not going to argue with that.
But to get down to 84, he walks around lean as fuck anyway. He looks good all the time. And to get down to 84 is remarkable that he got there. I thought it was crazy from day one, but sometimes you just take that chance as a fighter. What do you do?
Look at the pictures of Jamie at 93, and then the middleweight. He was just withdrawn and ripped ass. He looked good. Yeah. He was going to go on a bodybuilding comp or something, like a swimsuit model or something like that. But
his head.
He does all right. But it was that. A lot was to do with that, I reckon. And then we're warming up in the back before we're supposed to go out. And then I think Tama was warming him up.
Makes sense.
But Tama was warming him up on the pads, and then I think Fabio on the corner too. Fabio and Sean Sullivan. Fabio was in the corner, and I think Fabio went to take it down, or Tama said sprawl, and Jamie sprawled, and then he hopped up and his fingers poking out. Literally, it wasn't a dislocation. It was that finger was poking that way. Is that a right angle? I'm not good at school, but that way. So it looked like that. That finger was pointing that way. And it was dislocated bad. So we've had to pop it back in. This is just walked out, we popped it back in, and then we've just made him close his fist and just keep it closed because he wouldn't be another fight. And then the UFC guy is going to run out and tell the UFC guys. So I've run out and I grabbed him and I said it very nicely. I said, "Don't you fish and say anything."
Of course, nicely, nicely.
So Jamie's gone out and fought with that dislocated hand. But it's, you know what I mean. There's no excuses. We went out and you know what I mean. That's the game. You know what I mean.
What's it with his injuries, Stevie? What he fought busted up how many fucking times? What is it with Jamie and fighting busted up? Is it a curse or is it just he's just nutcase? What is it?
Well, honestly, I can't. There's probably only 1, 2 max that Jamie fought uninjured. He had what'd you have? You had the 3rd degree burns with the ice incident.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Dislocated. He was. When did you fought Ricardo Romero and where was that fight?
Oh yeah,
Denver.
2012.
Yeah, he was sparring Czech Congo, and then Czech Congo kicked his hand and dislocated his fingers again. So for a couple of weeks, we were trying to get that fixed up, and so he fought with a stuffed hand on that fight. He won that one. But what fight did you ever fight uninjured? There was one or two, but the rest you fought injured.
Oh yeah, like I guess like everyone gets injuries. Like most people get injuries, preparing for fights and stuff. But my ones are probably like there's like a border. You can get yourself injured here, but you're still able to fight, or you can get yourself injured on this level, and then the right thing to do is make the fight happen next time, delay it.
Do you think your offensive style? So obviously it has got something to do with it, but is there a correlation between your ground and pound or your offensive attack style and you getting injured? Because obviously you're in sparring, you're going to use that style in sparring. You're going to work on the back foot. I can't remember you working on the back foot. Do you reckon that there's some direct correlation between you going, and we lost him? Are you still there, Jamie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it has something to do with the way your style is? Like, obviously taking it to sparring and your training, just working so hard and always attacking. Do you reckon that's got something to do with it?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Maybe my volume and training as well. Maybe I found myself always overtraining too much for every single fight. That's always been me. I've always like train.
100%.
Even when the coach says go home, I'll go, yep, go home, and then go for big
100%. I think James overtrained.
It's been hard for me to break out because when I started, that's what got me to that position. Was that kind of method, when I was like 14 years old, started amateur boxing, I was like train because I wasn't talented, man. I had 2 left feet. I didn't have talent. I just, chased.
Yeah, I've seen you dance. It's no good.
So that's like a haka, I think.
No, so Stevie, we were talking before about he's lost to Glover and he was on a roll back then.
Yep.
You were part of his team. What do you reckon his chances would have been against Bones Jones if he had beaten Glover? More than likely, he probably would have fought Jones, or a good chance of fighting him. What do you reckon his chances were? Realistically, watching how Jones struggles against these offensive fighters now that are very similar to him.
Yeah, well, it's MMA. You know what I mean? Like it's not like MMA anything can happen. You know what I mean? You see with don't get me wrong, man. John Jones is like, to me, I think
King.
He's the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Out
of all the MMA fighters, like, regardless of how many lines he has or whatever he does, you know what I mean? He's
how many guns he carries.
How many guns he carries, or how many women he's friends with. He's still the GOAT. The fighters he's fought.
He's a man.
And in their prime. And he just made them look second string, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's the best out there. Yeah. Like even these young fighters today, and he doesn't panic. He hardly comes out with a black eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He hides a lot because when I seen Jamie was on the same card as him and John Jones. John Jones, when John Jones fought Rampage, Jamie, you fought on the same card. But he hides a lot because after he fought that Rampage fight, I walked past the dressing rooms and I seen him in the dressing rooms, and he had like both feet up and he just had ice packs from toe to his hips and ice, and he was like in pain.
Who's that?
John Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I walk past his dress. Yeah, I do the old sneaky walks around, and I'm a bit of a fanboy.
Oh, looking for ice. I'm just looking for ice, bro.
Can't
take a photo?
I've done that a couple of times.
Still.
But yeah. John Jones is good, man. But you know what I mean? But anything can happen in MMA.
That's true. But anyway, Stevie, thanks for dropping in, bro. I appreciate giving a couple of stories, man. And who you got now?
I got
Who you
Ty.
working with at the moment?
Ty Tuivasa.
Big Ty. Is Ty back yet, or is he still training with DC at AKA?
Nah, he's back. He had to come back because they're on lockdown over there.
Is he quarantined?
He was quarantined here, and he's like, he messaged me the other day, and he's pulling his hair out because he can't stay in one place for 5 minutes.
Oh, he's funny bloke, mate. Funny. He's with Matt Rose now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's with Matty Rose.
He's
I've got another guy too, Willie. I've got a couple of fighters, junior, and a couple of fighters come over, not full time, but they just like to train with the boys and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
But we got some good guys. We got Jamie, we got Lawrence in the gym and stuff like that. So
yeah. Which gym is this?
We're at Jamie, myself, and Lawrence, and Tyson's there too.
Lawrence Tuasa?
Lawrence Tuasa, Tyson Pedro, and
how big is fucking Lawrence Tuasa now? don't you do fitness at fucking your gym?
I'll tell you what.
That's a stupid question.
He's a good man, Laurie. He does a lot of bloody.
He's technically the best boxer this country's ever seen, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, he's technically the best boxer ever in this country.
100%. I'm not going to name names, but some high-profile boxers I've seen him go in with, and out of shape, and make them look pretty ordinary. You know what I mean?
His problem was he was out of shape his whole fucking career. If he had really stuck to it, I looked after Lawrence and got him number 1 in the world at one point.
Yeah,
he was a dynamite fighter. Dynamite.
But nah, man, like this podcast thing you're doing, I watched it the other day. It's good what you're doing, man. It's like awesome, man. Good on you.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. We'll get some more boys on soon. Don't worry, Stevie. And we'll set up Tama one day and we'll get him a good one, eh?
Yeah, right. Tama will love Tama. Your jokes.
All right, Stevie. Thanks, brother.
Right. Boys,
I'll talk to you soon, my man.
Yep.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Ciao.
Jamie, you there?
Yep.
You're back.
You see my head?
Oh, I can't miss the fucking head. Takes up the whole screen.
Hey, you know what? I was thinking about getting people on the podcast. You know Arlene Blenko? Arlene Angerfist.
Angerfist, yes. I know her.
So she is
Bellator, yeah?
Bellator now, women's Bellator, and she is fighting Cyborg next.
Shut up. Oh, we got to get her on. How about that one?
Yeah, man.
Are you training? You're training there, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, she's good, man. She's very good.
Oh, yeah. She, man, she's 36 now, I think.
Yeah.
She trains real hard and puts in the effort and trains real smart and stuff, and just, yeah, she's, finally got a goal of, fighting Cyborg.
Well, she's got a chance because obviously you're seeing what Cyborg's indeficiencies are when someone's attacking her, and she will trade. I don't know if she's going to run this time, but she traded before and didn't work out for her. And Angel's, his name's Angerfist, right?
Angerfist.
Yeah, Angerfist. I've watched a couple of her fights, and she don't take a fucking backward step. She ain't going backwards.
Yeah.
So if you sharpen up her defense, and hand speed, mate, you got a fucking chance.
Yep.
Yeah, mate. So that's really good. We'll try to get on for sure. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got another mystery caller, mate. Very similar to our mate there. They look exactly the same. I'll see if I can get. They took the same caca. I'll put it that way. No, actually, Stevie's much better. Wait. Hello.
Hey.
Holy heck! Oh no.
Lincoln Hudson, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
How you doing, mate?
All right. Your face, Lincoln.
Hey, Jamie, how are you, brother?
Pretty good, man. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than Seattle.
Mate, Seattle. We're talking about Seattle now. This story in Seattle, please, Jamie. I don't know who should be telling this story, but all right, go, Lincoln. You love talking.
No. San Francisco.
San Francisco, sorry, yeah.
Actually, Santa Cruz, little beach town called Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it was Santa Cruz. And what happened was we go over there, and Jamie and Stevie, they constantly put it on me. Give me a hard time. They tried to moonshine me. Yeah, you did. So what happens is we go on that boardwalk at Seattle, whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
and
Santa Cruz.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. So there's these sea lions. There's a big one about 7 foot, 8 foot long, and then there's about 6 ones about 2 foot long. And I go, oh, there's the mum and the babies. And these all, yeah, lick. I said, right. So you know, photo. So Fabio goes, yeah, well, Linga, you go down close. So I get about 10 foot on the pier from them because they were laying on the pier. So I get about 10 feet from the pier from them, and Fabio goes, Linky, looky here, look, get closer. So I keep walking backwards towards these sea lions, right, looking at Fabio. I get about 3 foot from him, and this male. Well, I didn't know it was a male. I thought it was the mama by the starters. he launches up in the air, about 7 foot in the air, with his 2 teeth. About, honestly, they had to be a foot long, and they missed the ass by about 3 inches. So the sea line and Fabio and Jamie, they're 20 foot up the air. They ran.
Did anyone give you a warning, Link, or what?
Hey?
Did anyone give you a warning, or they just left you with it?
Oh man, I remember watching Lincoln climbing
Fabio
down
goes,
the ladder.
Look here. Fabio, don't turn around and look.
The platform is with all the seals and a sea lion. There's probably about 5 seals and 1 sea lion that's the size of a car, right? They're all sleeping. So Lincoln decides to climb himself down towards the ladder. Goes, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, no, it's all right. It's all right. I know what to do. Anyway, jumps on this float, this big float.
Wobbling.
All the seals wake up. All the little seals wake up and they quickly dive off, you know. The sea lion's still there asleep. And Lincoln's going, shh, it's all right. I know what I'm doing. So he's creeping up behind it towards the tail of it. And he looks up and goes, see, I know what I'm doing. Just as he said that, it must have woken up. It's like turned around the sea lion. And when the sea lions attack, they get up on their tail. They stand tall here like this. Yeah. And they try and put their weight down. Yeah. Lincoln turned around and the sea lion's like, what, up in the air like this. All the tourists up top and all like taking photos and stuff. Probably about 50 people up there, man.
It's got to be on YouTube. Crazy white man at San Francisco.
Now, Fabio, Fabio, his English is not good. Right? Fabio's going, licky, looky here. And as I looked at Fabio, I then felt the peer weird move. It's 7 foot in the air.
Hey, I've got a picture of it. I'll send it to you, Fidel.
Oh, please, mate, please. I'll put it all over the internet.
Crack up, man. He took this picture. We took this picture before he decided to climb down that ladder. We didn't know he was going to climb down, but we took this picture. He said, take a picture of me. Took the picture in front of the sea lions, and then, decided to climb down.
Here's Fidel. This is true. It's got to tell you now, this is true. That trip was actually one of our best trips ever because I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people might not know. They may do know, maybe I don't know. Jamie gets over there, right? So Jamie's full of confidence. So we're fighting this Joey Beltran. Now, Joey Beltran's supposed to be the bee's knees, all and one fight. Yeah. So what happens is Jamie says, so what's the plan? I said, listen, we're going to sit outside him. We're going jab, bum. And anyway, so away they go. And in the first couple of minutes, Jamie's gone bang. And then he started slowing his hand up a little bit. And I didn't take his notice. And then Jamie goes, kick left foot, right? Jamie's kicked his knee. So he comes back to the corner in the first round, right? I go, how you going, mate? What's going on? He goes, I go, what's that? He said, I broke my fucking hand. I said, don't just kick his leg. I said, I did it. I broke my foot. He goes, what are we going to do? I said, listen, stay outside, just counter him, and bluff it out because he was trying to talk to Jamie the whole fight. Yeah, come on. Jamie go, oh, what the fuck? But the funny part about it, broken hand, broken foot, Jamie created UFC history, the most significant head strikes in UFC history in one round. We were broken hand, broken foot. And that is true story. We were just
talking about his injuries before and the fights he's had previously and how he always fought injured. But there was one fight I've got to speak about is Ryan Jimmo.
Oh.
Now, he's walked. That's one of the best fights. I think it's his best fight he's ever had, just to show what kind of heart he had. But the walkout, obviously everyone speaks about this walkout. I'm all big on showmanship and selling yourself to the public. And that day, now Jamie's not that mentality where he shows off or does that kind of shit. But it was a great fucking walkout. Well, now, Jamie, how did you get that 2 left fucking feet white guy to keep up with you guys? How much did you practice to do that fucking dance? Please.
I'm going to tell you the whole truth. Don't listen to Jamie. Tell fibs. What happened was that was the worst camp Jamie had ever had in his life. And that's the truth. He went into injuries. We went over to England. Nothing was going right for us. We had a camp that wasn't going great. And about 2 days before, we had a team that was a little bit not working okay. Anyway, I'm doing pads with Jamie. And this is true story, right? Jamie's frustrated and he's trying to let go because we've had a bad camp. He held back for a while. And I go, 1-2 left hook. And Jamie's going 1-2 left rip. And we remember making us full power and dropping like a maggot. Right?
No, good on him.
The ground. And I swear to God, he thought he killed me because I Fitz, I'm not lying out. I've never been dropped so hard in my life, right? So I'm laying on the ground for a good 40 minutes trying to breathe, and he footy killed me. Right?
Yeah, no, fuck, I did, man. When I hit him, as he dropped on the ground, I was like,
You
I was
fucking should
worried,
have. You
worried.
missed.
Bit, right? So about the day before, Jamie's in a day. Jamie, and I'll give Jamie credit. He is a pure athlete. The problem with Jamie is he never believed in his ability. I'm sorry, Jamie, you never did. And the day before, Jamie goes, "We're fucked, man. We're fucked. I can't see me winning this fight. You know what? Fuck it, Lee. Let's just do something stupid." I go, "What do you want to do?" He said, "Let's get suits." I go, "What do you mean suits?" He goes, "There was never done that before." So Jamie had all his intention. Let's try to turn a bad trip into a good trip. And it was Jamie's idea. Let's all get suits. So we go in this stupid store. We'll get the suits. We're trying to fucking fit them on. Anyway, to make a long story short was bad camp, bad thing. And Jamie's head was not in a good place. And he can tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth. And this is why I admire James Te Huna more than you know, Jamie. You were in a bad space, and most fighters would have given the first round. And you know it, and I know it. And we got to the first round, and Jamie come back, and he goes, "I'm fucked, mate." I go, "You're not fucked, Jamie. Have a look at this man. He's lost 15 kilo to make weight. You've got him." He goes, "You think so, Link?" I said, "Jamie, trust me, man. Just one more round. Hang in there. Do this." And we spoke to it. And then Jamie went out there and just hung in there. And won the second round. And then I go, "How you feeling, Jamie?" He goes, "Man, he's tired. He's fucked." I said, "You got him. Now go home and win the fight." And it was one of Jamie's best performances, not because of Jamie's head wasn't there. He had struggled with injuries the whole camp. It was the worst camp in history he's ever had in his life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk out of school, but I'm telling you, it was the worst in his life. And we done the Men in Black thing as a way of Jamie just sort of saying, "You know what, fuck
Switching
it.
off.
I'm going to get beat, but at least I'm going to go out there and have at least a bit of fun, Jamie Te Huna style, Kiwi style." And that's exactly what happened. So Jamie went out there with the intentions of, "Fuck it, I'm just going to show the world at least I'm having fun." But mentally, he was broken. And he was a broken body and a broken mind, and he had injuries coming out of it. His elbow was terrible. He could hardly punch. And in all honesty, Jamie, and I praise you with every bit of knowledge I got. Any old bloke would have laid down the first round, and you and I both know it. And you come back the first round with probably the intentions like, I could give up here, and because you weren't in a good headspace. And then Jamie said, "I said, how you feeling?" Jamie says, "Mate, I'm fucked." I said, "But he's fucked, Jamie. This bloke, he come out with everything you had, and he couldn't get rid of you. Jamie, you survived everything he's got." He goes, he was getting.
So what happened was, this dude, he went out and under 60 seconds, he threw a head kick. I thought he was going towards my leg. Yeah. But he opened up with a head kick, and the shin landed straight across my blinking temple. It knocked me out as I fall down to the ground, turned my lights off. As I collapsed on the ground, my head bounced on the canvas, and that woke me back up. Yeah, and I thought, "Oh, fuck." The survivors. So anyway, he's gone Donkey Kong on me, and 30 seconds later, he started blowing gas.
And it was in all honesty, Fidel, I'm telling you, but those two fights we're talking about are got to be rated for various reasons. The Joey Beltran, we had the perfect camp, and he broke his left hand. He broke his left. Sorry, Pedro, was he there? He broke his left hand in the first 30 seconds. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You there, Jamie?
Yeah.
You there? So he's broke his hand in the first 30 seconds, and this is true as God. Then he's broke his foot the next 30, and he's had to fight probably the best striker in the UFC at that time. And Jamie put up a performance, and we got UFC history, and I still stole the gloves. So Jamie's not real good on that. So he's dirty on me for that. And the Jimmy Rimmer, mate, honestly, Fidel, I really praise Jamie for that, because he went there. And there's some fighters that look, Jamie had every reason to lay down. And what I mean by that is, in the sense, I don't mean that he quit. He had every reason to go in there and get beat. It was the worst camp. He might as well not even trained. And he didn't kill me. And then they wanted me up front, man. Put me up the front. And I am the worst dancer in the world.
Yeah, we know that. That's why I was asking, how the fuck did he get you to dance?
You're in front. So I stood at the background. But actually, it created US history. Jamie beat Rimmer, who was, at the time, I think, 18-0 straight, 18 straight victories. And was expected to put Jamie away in seconds. So, Jamie, I congratulate you on that. That was one of your best victories.
Mate, Jamie, we had Stevie on before, and obviously Lincoln being part of it. You had a great corner with Stevie, your brother, Sully, and Link. Like, you've had some really good coaches. Lincoln, thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate the stories. I love having you on. We'll be getting some more people very soon, so just keep it up. All right?
That's out of the bag, eh? Well, next time we should with Hayden Knowles and Will and Jamie, where Will wanted to steal Jamie's bed. We'll talk about that next time, eh?
We'll talk about next time. No worries. All right, mate.
Take care.
All right, Lee. See you soon, mate.
Devin.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We're back. We are back, mate. We're gonna look, we've got some viewer questions, and I've got your 1 minute wonder, and we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
We've got a question here. Who's the best fighter you've ever fought against?
Best fighter.
The best fighter.
Best fighter. I would say. Okay, might give you a different answer. Best fighter. I would say the most scariest fighter that I've been actually scared of, and there's only been one fight where I was kind of scared and worried, was against this dude that was quicker than me. So he was so explosive and so, I don't know what he was going to throw. And that's when I was fucking worried, because I've always been kind of the lighter guy in my fights. So I was always at speed over everyone else. But this one guy, he had speed over me, man. I was worried.
Who's that?
Hector Lombard.
Oh, yeah. Fucking fight.
He big and ragdolled me. He ragdolled me. I put the fight on like a few days' notice and dropped a bit of weight and had a bit of confidence about myself. Southpaw, bro, I don't really need to train for that. And went out there and it was like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Mate, look, they attribute a lot of his success to PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. Mate, I'm going to be honest, PEDs are not. I think the sport's riddled, to be honest. I think all sports are riddled. And if he was or not, fuck, he was a great fighter. How he didn't get more success in the UFC, I still follow him a lot. I watch his fighting the bare knuckle fights, and he's doing that now. And, mate, fuck, he was a good fighter. But I used to say, if I'm not scared of people, I'll fight with anyone, right? That's why I'm a street fighter. That's how I've grown up. But if I'm going to do a fucking fight with him, I'll tell you, I'd have to shoot him because there's no way you're going to fucking beat him on the street. Because he's an animal. He'll bite your ears off. He'll start crying, so you feel sorry for him. He'll fucking choke you out, and then he'll cut your head off.
He's a fighter, man. He's a fighter.
He's a fucking nutcase, man, and that's not a worry. I'm scared of the motherfucker too. Don't worry. All right, next question. So you play in rugby league. So rugby, you're down south. You played a bit of rugby, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you've learned a fair bit from it. If you didn't would you have thought coming over if your martial arts career didn't get into your life because your brother was obviously involved? Would you have given rugby or rugby league more of a crack?
I don't know, to be honest. I grew up with my role models being Mike Tyson and David Turn. I saw those guys and thought, like Mark Hunt as well, and thought, fuck, that's where I want to be, I guess, John and Lomu growing up. Yeah. Sean Fitzpatrick. But with Mike Tyson, man, I put him up here like that, and that was the path I wanted to take. If I didn't take that path, would I have gone to the path of rugby union?
Or league?
I couldn't answer that one. Nah, I don't think so.
Well, unless it's kind of your wrestling ability and your takedown ability. You worked with St George for the last 2 years, previously to this season, with Paul McGregor. And then now you've moved on to Cronulla, working there with Bomber. Now, mate, how do you find? Now, I like rugby because it's a lot of wrestling involved, whereas even rugby league gets wrestling coaches. I believe it's more for a jiu-jitsu style takedown, right? And then keep them on the floor. I spoke with this a bit to Jimmy about using that jiu-jitsu flop where you stand on top and you drain their energy compared to a wrestler. And you're a wrestler more than you are a Dewey person. Yeah. How do you find that transition from being a fighter to a trainer in that rugby league, considering that they want you to slow down, whereas in wrestling you want to keep your feet, you want to hold your feet, you want to take them down and stay on top, whereas in rugby league they just want you to lay on top of them and fall over, correct?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? I'm not sure. How do you find that? How'd you learn to teach that?
I just guess through experiences and also through learning the game as well. Because to be honest, man, I haven't played rugby league at all. The only game that I played is rugby union, and that was through school until I turned 15, 16 years old and came here. Yeah. So that's the only experience I had with it. Wasn't really into watching NRL. But when I got the opportunity to a few years ago, they got the opportunity to and like help help with coaching some of the teams, like local teams and stuff, and using a bit of what I know through wrestling. I got a bit excited in learning how to try and slow that tackle down, or how to speed up the ruck. So I was just like, when I get excited about something, I like to put work into it. I like to analyze it. And it's my work, I value my work that I put in, my effort. It's not like, all right, that'll do. I value my work, so I actually analyze it. And my first year of working with St. George, I was every game day I was watching them 2 times over. Yeah. So watch them live, and then watch them again, and just do my own slowing down the ball play and speeding up the ruck, and just seeing what worked, what didn't. Hey, talking to Dean Young and the guys and coaching staff, and just suggesting things, and they'll suggest things to me, and just communicating and doing that.
Well, I find my I got more of a wrestling background. I've more wrestling than I did jiu-jitsu, and I find that really helps rugby union. Obviously, because you have to stay on your feet. That's the whole point. Once your hands touch the floor, you need to touch the floor, you're out of play. And so wrestling was huge. But rugby league, I kind of think the opposite. It's more jiu-jitsu style, takedowns, stay on top, flop, get them to slow down the ruck, get it to way on top, and it actually tires the opponent out. The last question. This again, it's you answer this the way you want to answer it, because I know you've got close ties, but Volkanovski versus Holloway. Now, you've talked about the GOAT before. Mate, Holloway wouldn't be far off that conversation. If they fought again, what would you reckon would happen? What's your opinion? And that's not... Obviously, Alexander's probably a friend of yours. I'm not sure. Everyone's pretty tight here. But it was a big fucking win. And it was a smart win. It was a very smart win. Yeah. But Holloway is a very smart fighter, and I couldn't see him making the same mistake twice. But in saying that, like, what are your thoughts? He's a tough motherfucker, Volkanovski. He can kick like a mule. Yeah.
Fuck, Alex, man, I think he's fresh in the game. And he's fucking hungry, man.
Hungrier.
Yeah. So I think it's his time, man. He's hungry. Fucking, I reckon he'll take it again. Yeah.
Yeah, possibility. It's probably, look, you just said it. And I said it before. It's a lot of mentality. Yeah, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. When you're on a downward spiral, you're on a downward spiral. It's only the true champions come back from a downward spiral. Yep. Yeah, and that's only some of the best. And Holloway is one of the best ever. So there's a possibility he can make a good fight of it, bro. The last minute, we've got the 1 minute wonder. This is named after Garth Wood. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you just answer the first answer that comes in your head, okay?
All right. Yep.
The best fighter you've ever sparred with?
Kerry Foley.
Really? Fucking hopeless.
The hardest puncher.
He's a fucking bullhead like you. Hey, the toughest fighter you've ever fought against. Not the best, but the toughest.
Joey Beltran.
Fucking great fight.
Nails.
Great fucking fight. The dirtiest fighter you've ever fought with?
I can't even think. No one.
No?
No.
Too nice. Too nice. The fighter you were happy you never fought? Probably Hector Lombard.
Happy I didn't, yeah.
I'm happy I didn't fight the cunt too. Who do you reckon? Who's the fighter you're happy you never fought?
Man, it would be fucking. I don't know. I was just if someone gave me a name, was like, oh, let's go.
You didn't care. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's the mentality.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Who's the best pound for pound right now? Right now.
Ooh.
Right now.
Oh, pound for pound right now.
Pound for pound right now. Not like who's the best ever, but who's? Are you still think John Jones?
Oh, pound for pound right now. Oh, yeah.
That's a credible answer. I'm just saying. He's not as good as he used to be, but fuck, good luck to anyone who wants to fight him. Jesus.
Yeah.
Still, Bones? Most overrated fighter?
Most overrated fighter. Is this in the UFC or anything?
UFC.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Overrated fighter. It's a hard one. Who do you think?
Fuck, I don't know, mate.
I don't know, man.
JJ. I'm front of the woman. All right, who wins? Khabib and Conor at Conor's new weight.
Khabib.
Still, okay. I mean, Conor had a great performance, but I'll still go Khabib as well.
Yeah.
All right. Who wins in their primes? And imagine they're the same weight. Anderson Silva or George St. Pierre?
Who wins in their prime? Anderson Silva or George St. Pierre? Ooh. Oh, man. I would have to say, man, GSP, man, for setting up his takedowns, just fighting a smart fight. I would say GSP, man. I don't know.
I'll go the other way, but I got a personal. I just love his striking abilities. He's fucking crazy. He'll throw a strike from anywhere.
Yeah, true.
Lastly, last question. Who wins? And you're a good person for this. Striker or takedown? What wins?
Striker or takedown? What wins?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm always gonna say like striker because I like.
Yes, son. Yes.
I'm always gonna say striker because I'm, big fan of boxing, man.
That's the way we are.
So yeah.
Legend, mate. Jamie, thanks for the chat, bro. We've gone an hour and 10 minutes here, but mate, awesome talking to you. Thank you so much. I wish you best in your next movement in life, which you're working with a lot of youth now, and you're doing a lot of work with rugby league and other sports. Mate, any last words? Anything to say?
Thanks for getting me on, man. I love your clips that you put up, and keen to watch some more, man.
I'll get you back soon, brother, for sure, all right? I'll get you back soon for sure.
See you, brother.
All right, Jamie. All right, brother. I'll speak to you soon, mate. See you, brother. Take care.
Yeah, bro.